Join us each week for some booze-free banter about life without booze.
If you're entertaining the idea of cutting back your booze by a day, a week, a month, or for the rest of your life, we would love for you to tune in.
Buckle up and come along for a ride that may just change your life. Just a heads up, some of our conversations we have may be triggering for some. Reach out to your local resource support centre. If you're in Australia, that's Lifeline 131114.
Maso! Breeza! Hello, mate.
How are you, love?
Yeah, I'm so good. How are you going?
I am great. The sun is shining in Bendigo, so I'm up and about.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a cool 22 degrees.
Oh, well, I've topped you. There's 24 here in K-Town, so I might even get the pins out.
Yeah, nice. Do it. For our new listeners, Maso, what is K-Town?
Kerrang. So country Victoria, just near the Murray River. There's about 4,500 people in the district, so it's it's country folk. Everyone says hello, and you know when you drive past people and their hands are on the steering wheel and they give you a little.
I love the little one finger.
Finger goes up. Sometimes you might get two.
I'm a big fingerer for that.
Yeah.
I love it good. I think I get mad when people don't give you the little one or two finger when they're driving past, or especially if you pulled over on the side of the road.
Yes, it's very friendly. I really like it. Everyone says good morning genuinely, and it's nice. It's nice. Country folk.
Yeah, nice. I like a bit of country folk action.
Yeah. How's your week been, mate?
I've had a cracking week so far. So the highlight of my week has been I went back to Bright on the weekend.
Yeah, I saw that. Double up.
Double dog.
Back to back.
Yes. So I went with some friends and we just did we just got out in nature. We went on the mountain bike track there, which is really cool. Mystic Park, I think it's called. Yep. So just had a real solid day, weekend out in nature. Just loved it. I even we were sitting around the campfire on Saturday night. So my friend and I was sitting there chatting. It was four of us sitting there chatting away, and there was another sort of crew there, and they were an elderly. There was a guy and a guy and a girl, and another chick about our age, so early 40s, and we started talking about our book club. I'm like, wow, this is where I'm at. But it was really good. So the older lady, so she was probably in her 50s, late 50s, she was talking about her book club, and my friend and I were talking about our book club, and we were exchanging book club stories. And then I shit you not, the girl who was in her 40s was pissy, and she just came out in mid-conversation and said, "What religion are you?" Everyone sort of just stopped talking and we're like, what, pardon? It just came out of the blue. Anyway, so really a funny observation. And when she had left, my friend said to me, wow, that just cements another reason why I don't drink. And she's like, that was so awkward.
Oh.
It was very, very funny.
Really? Yeah, right. How interesting. That she just ripped out just like a real knee-jerk reaction, just thought it said it bang, and everyone's just like, whoa.
Yeah, totally derailed our book club conversation. I was right into it.
I love that.
So all round 10 out of 10 weekend out in nature in the beautiful countryside of Bright in the mountains.
Yes. Had you had that booked in, or because you went the week before you were like, I love this so much, I'm going back?
100%. Got home on Sunday night and just went, I want to go back there. So gave them a bell and, we landed back there Friday afternoon.
Love that, mate, immediately. It's actually something that I do very, very much. If I've had an experience somewhere, I want to just do it again and again and again. I just keep going back. I just love it.
And you find something new every time, don't you? Which I love.
Yeah, too right. Well done, mate.
Thanks, mate. What about you? What's been happening?
So big things happening this week. So my actual other place of residence is in St Kilda, but we're moving to Torquay.
Woo!
Yes. So my partner has got two kids, teenage kids, and they live down in Torquay with their mum. So it's time to create the family life down in Torquay.
What a cracking spot, mate.
Yes, I think about that. I'm like, if anywhere you could pick to live in Victoria, the two places I feel are St Kilda and Torquay, so I'm very, very lucky.
I reckon you've got like Torquay energy about you, mate. So
Thanks,
got beach vibes going on.
Thank you. Look out, I'll bust out the dreadlocks. Actually, I'll have to post that photo one day. I'll have dreadlocks. That you with your black?
Yeah, I saw that on your other account on Lisk Official, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's right, because we lived in London together for a period of time, and I'd forgotten all about the black dreads.
Yeah, I gave it a run.
I need to pull them out again.
Yeah. Be surfy chick. So so that's exciting. I think coming from a small country town where everyone says hello, and then being all over the world and people not saying hello, it really bothered me. So to be back in a place where people, it's a good vibe. So yeah.
And Torquay's got quite a cool like foodie sort of scene and like cool cafes and stuff like that too.
It's kicking off. We've got to find our little spot. So yeah. Anyway, that's my
exciting.
Yay! Well thanks, mate. Thank you.
You gotta have shame on the name. Shame on the name. Figure it out. Oh, they're gonna know.
I always get nervous about my shame stories. Like I feel like I've put the real bad ones away, and I'm just I'm pulling out like the PG one.
Whereas I'm the opposite, and I'm just going, get them out there first. Have a listen to this juicy mess.
See if you can top this.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Okay, you go.
All right.
It's all yours. Floor's yours.
Shame story number 2. So this was, again, back in my 20s. I feel like I did a lot of my best work back in my 20s. So this was, I would have been about 25, I reckon, and I was living in Germany. I was actually working for the English Army in Germany, so living on an English Army base. Got to live in the officers' mess, so lots of alcohol every night of the week, I would suggest. But on this particular occasion, it was the officers' mess ball. So it was an annual ball in their big, beautiful room. And I was pumped, got to dress up in a fancy dress. I don't know what time of year it was. I'm just trying to think. I reckon it was towards the end of the year, so a bit chill. But, so went there, and I'd obviously made friends because I was living on site, so I had a really good bunch of friends. And, we got absolutely shit-faced at the ball. As you do, nothing unusual so far about this story. So got hammered, and the next day I was flying to Edinburgh to see some friends. So that's what makes me think it was towards the end of the year, because I'm pretty sure I did what do you call it? Hogmanay?
Hogmanay,
yeah, which is New Year's Eve, isn't it?
Yeah.
In Edinburgh. So next morning I had to get up at the crack of dawn. It was like a super, super early flight, and jump on a plane. So I remember like getting back to the room. It would have been like, 2:00 in the morning, probably getting back to my room, going to sleep, waking up at like 5 a.m. to get to the airport. So I rolled out of bed, and when you wake up and you're still pissed.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah.
So that was a bit sketchy. So jumped on the plane. Oh, that was all good. Had a bit of a snooze, and it's not a very long flight. So it's like probably an hour or so. And as we were touching down, so I was still probably a little bit pissy on the plane. So touchdown, spew bag, had to grab the spew bag out, vomited in the spew bag. And I was like, I think there was a space, and then someone was like, there was a gap between me and the next person. So I was just sort of secretly trying to spew into the spew bag. So I did that, all good. Poor bloody flight attendants. I know I used to be one, Maso, so this is probably like, you're hating this story already. So then I get to my friend's house in Edinburgh, unpack my bag, and I discovered a bottle of champagne in my bag that I'd taken. I'd swiped a bottle of champers as I was leaving the ball, put it in my bag, got on the plane with it, and taken it to Edinburgh with me. Didn't know, like it was a surprise package. When I opened my bag, like, oh, that's a bottle of champagne here. So which was funny at the time, funny. But I look back and I always like look at these shame stories and sort of reassess and go, I stole. Like I was a thief on the piss. Normally I wouldn't just swipe a bottle of champagne if I walked past it. And B, having a spewsy on the plane. All class.
Class. And then there's the security side of that too. Did you pack your bags? Do you know exactly what's in your bags? Like,
Well, I'm surprised. Like, could you just bring booze on a plane back in the, mid 2000s? Like, was that a thing? Like, I don't know. It went through.
just straight through, no problem.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
They might have like smelt like booze on my breath and thought, don't mix with this bitch.
Yeah, just let it go. Did you hand the spear bag to the flight attendant on the way out?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I reckon I would have been that embarrassed. I probably would have stashed it in my handbag or something. Yeah,
well, at
pretty
least,
foul.
yeah. Oh, it's pretty good. Yeah.
It's a shame story. It's up there.
It is a shame story. Yeah, it's right up there. I didn't know I forgot you lived in Germany. We need to talk about that.
Love that.
So how amazing.
Loved it. I always said to Mum, if I meet a German bloke, I'm living here for the rest of my life.
Really?
Yeah. Loved it. Had some good times there.
That's amazing, Breeza. Was that before or after the UK?
That was during, but it was towards the end of my stint at the UK.
Yeah, I feel like I did know that, but my memory of the UK is very thin.
I'm the same, mate. I'm the same.
Honestly, yeah. Well, that's good.
There's mine off the
shame
chest.
story.
Off the chest. I hand it over to you now,
How
mate.
do you feel? Is it kind of cathartic? Is it kind of talking about
I
that? How does that feel?
It just feels like I just think, shit, I'm so glad I'm not drinking. That's what it makes me feel like. I'm just like, I'm so glad I don't have to worry about shit like that happening again.
Yeah, good. Yeah, me too. All right, so yeah, thanks, mate. So Christmas a few years ago, classic Christmas mess, basically. You can imagine how that turned out.
I've already got a vision.
Yeah. So, well, my partner and I, we'd broken up for a bit, but we were just started to get back together. So it was kind of emotions were really high and things were a little bit difficult, but I'd been invited to his family Christmas. And so I was just on my best behaviour, trying to, kind of suck up a little bit. I'd bought a couple of bottles of rosé with me, and then I'd noticed somebody was drinking my rosé and I was getting a bit shitty about it.
Fuming.
Like, first red flag to think you've got a bit of a problem with alcohol when somebody's nicking your piss and you're getting cranky about it. I don't know what happened. Ty and I ended up in a blue, really ugly. I ended up storming out. All the family have come out the front. It was just
ugly.
Really ugly, really ugly. And I'm so embarrassed. And I said to Ty, I want to send a message to your brother and sister-in-law and tell them I'm so sorry. He goes, don't worry about it. And I'm like,
don't go there.
Yeah, don't even touch it. So, yeah, it's very sketchy. There's a few blackout areas and I'm still horrified. So hopefully, if you're listening, family, please accept my apology. I'm so sorry. I was that messy drunk Christmas person that I always thought I would never be. Like, you always hear about the real messy drunk person.
It's normally the aunties, mate. It's normally Auntie Karen. Auntie Karen likes to strap one on.
Yeah, there we go, Auntie Claire. But that's the thing again, I spoke about that on EP1, is that I know that that's etched in their mind now. How do you come back from that? How do you get them to know that I'm a really good, fun, normal human being, but that was a real that's me under the influence and it's not who I am.
Yeah. And did you wake up the next day going, shit, I need to apologise? Like, that's awful, and going, I can't remember what happened. What did I do? Who did I offend? What did I say? Like, someone just stabbed me.
Yes, make it go away. I'm just horrified, and just the dread and guilt and shame and just,
How'd you go when you saw him next time face to face?
I was pretty cagey.
Yeah. Didn't ask for a margie.
I was pretty sheepish.
Who was drinking your rosé, by the way?
I don't know. I'm still to find out. Track him down.
It's dark.
Yeah, just too much booze. And I think at that time, because the emotions are high with everything that was going on, I was trying to soften those emotions. So drink more to mask them, to mask those emotions. Self-medicating.
And actually you were self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
In actual fact.
Yes.
Which we should actually, that should be a topic we should discuss, is self-sabotaging.
Yes, yeah. I'm being really good at it. So anyway, that's it. Shame.
Shame. All right, mate, so what's our topic this week? What are we discussing?
Well, we're talking about what has worked well for us to stay alcohol-free, things that we've implemented to keep us on track, to keep us AF. Yeah?
Yeah. And I like to refer this as our tool belt.
Yes.
Like to say, strap on your tool belt.
Yes, exactly. Tool of the week, what you're going to put in your tool belt to reach into to keep you on track.
And do you know what? I found that this time round, like when I say this time round, like I have been sober curious for a few years, but this time I feel like the big difference between staying off the booze as opposed to just having, I don't like to say relapsing, but as opposed to going, oh, stuff it, I'll just have a drink, is I have found all these tools, which we are going to discuss, which has helped me to understand about alcohol and to then stay on track as to why I am choosing not to drink alcohol.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. So what's your first tool, Maso?
Well, I'll take you to a story, actually. It was just recently. I'd had a little bit of an incident here in Kerrang. You can check it out. I went a little bit viral.
Yes, Facebook. I know the one, yes.
My safety was a little bit threatened by a bit of a creeper, and I had posted in real time just in case he was going to be out there somewhere to warn other women. Police came. He got sent to Bendigo Psych, and I'd followed that up with another post as well. That post had about 1.5 million views, and in that I was trolled pretty hard. Now, fortunately, I'd seen enough. Like, I posted on the Friday, and by lunchtime Saturday I had seen enough of the trolls, women as well, lots of victim blaming, etc.
Yeah,
story for another time. But if there was ever a time that I needed a drink, was then. And I'd already been maybe a month alcohol-free at that stage. So what I did is I rang my partner and I said, I really want to drink. Like, I really, 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 really need a drink. Like, I would love it. And he goes, I know. And I said, but I really, really don't want to. I've come this far. And if I start drinking again, he goes, yeah, you'll just unravel. Like, it'll just spiral.
Yep.
Okay. And so I said, all right, I'd gone for a walk and did all the things that I needed to do to keep myself, keep in check, go for a walk, trying to settle that anxiety. And then I thought, okay, what I would normally do, I needed to go to the supermarket and grab some things, stay on the phone with me, stay on the phone while I go through the supermarket so I don't go to the bottle shop.
Yeah.
And so I did. So my tool is, if you are feeling like you need a drink or you're about to walk into the bottle shop, phone a friend, phone one of the lifelines, phone AA, phone Beyond Blue, phone whoever, to keep you on the phone so that you will not walk into the bottle shop. I did go to the alcohol-free section, though, and I bought them instead. So that was my negotiation. So, yeah, I was really wrapped with that, and it's something that I think is a fantastic little tool that hopefully will be helpful for other people. Phone a friend. Divert.
And I think they call that in AA, like, find a sponsor. So
yes.
Yeah, a sponsor's like that person that when you are having a wobbly moment, that you can just pick up the phone or shoot them a text and they'll talk you off the ledge.
Yes.
To not pick up that, not pick up that beer or not crack open that bottle of wine. So sponsors come in all shapes and sizes. So your partner, your friends, family, a mentor, anyone really. I've got a couple up my sleeve as well.
Have you? Yeah.
Just a couple of friends that I can ring. Thankfully, I haven't had to, but I know there will come a time where I'm just like, oh, I don't want to break, I don't want to crack, and they'll just help me, because those cravings and those moments only last for a short period of time.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you can get through them and then distract yourself, then then it's out of your mind and off you go on your merry way.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll just another little add on with that one is with this whole Torquay move, what I was talking about earlier, is I was really excited, and then once I'd made the decision, I got really anxious about it, and I was like, feeling really wobbly about it. And then also it comes with that excitement. Okay, we've made a change. this is really exciting, needs celebrating, needs alcohol, doesn't it? You know, anxious needs alcohol. Every step is just, we need to pour some booze on this. So I did. I rang Carly, one of our best friends, and she was straight across it. I think I might have voice messaged her and told her what was happening, and she rang me straight away, and she knew that I would be wobbly and would need that outlet. So I stayed on the phone to her for about an hour and a half, and it had passed. And I said, look, I'm going to try some alcohol-free drinks tonight. I kind of feel like we need to you need to I don't know, celebrate this change in some way, but I'm going to go with alcohol free. So yeah, it was really interesting. So yeah, phone a friend. And I was so bloody proud of myself that time with the trolling, and I rang Ty, got through the supermarket, and I was so chuffed with myself. I'd walked out of there with my alcohol free drinks, and because I knew if I had have started drinking again, I would have gone down the rabbit hole, looked at those Facebook, looked at the trolls, and then I would have continued on that pattern of drinking, feeling anxious, looking to feel better, and just kept pouring booze in the mix. So yeah, phone a friend.
Phone a friend, love that. Which is actually a good segue, because you touched on it a little bit, just about celebration.
Yeah.
One of the tools for me in my tool belt is to be prepared. So as you're talking about the whole celebration, like I'm thinking in my head, well, when you move to Torquay, you're also going to want to celebrate. When you get the keys to the house and you're moving in, you're going to plonk on the couch or plonk outside or plonk on the beach and go, oh, let's have a drink to celebrate. So for me, being prepared is another big one. So thinking ahead of time and going, okay, well, I've got this event coming up. How am I going to bring alcohol-free champagne to that event? Or am I going to bring a bottle of alcohol-free wine, or do I need to bring alcohol-free beer to that particular barbecue? So being prepared is a big one. For me personally, alcohol-free drinks don't trigger me, so I can drink them quite happily like I'm just having a normal beverage. So I always have a stash of alcohol-free drinks at home. I've got heaps and heaps. And so I know that if someone invites me over randomly for like a drink, I can just go, yep, yoink, I'll bring an alcohol-free 4-pack of alcohol-free beers. So being prepared is yoink, love a yoink. So being prepared. Another one I've found really helpful in this department is if you're going out for dinner, and I've only done this once, is to phone up the restaurant that you're going to and ask them if they have alcohol-free drinks. This is actually a really good recommendation I got from Dry But Wet Amy on Instagram. So, yeah, ring the restaurant, ask them what alcohol-free drinks they have. If they give you a, Coke and lime lemon bitters kind of menu vibe, then I always I have once. Then, I'm like a full professional here. I've then said, do you mind if I bring an alcohol-free champagne? And I'm happy to pay a corkage fee.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, and they were like, yep, more than happy. It was like a $15 corkage fee, which is more than the actual bottle. I think I bought like a bottle of Edenvale Sparkling, and that was like $8 at Woolies. And you know what? I was still happy to pay a $15 corkage fee because I could drink it all night, and I was happy. Like I was drinking with everyone at the table.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
And I think also given that, like in Bendigo, the local bottle shops and like the big chains, they don't have a huge range of alcohol-free choices at the moment. Hopefully I'm going to change that. So I don't like to be caught off guard, hence why I go online, order my drinks and have them there for an occasion when it's required.
Great tips. I love that, because I'm only just starting to scratch the surface with the alcohol-free drinks, and I'm probably the other way, whereas I'm a little bit triggered. I'm not sure.
Yeah, which is interesting, which I think we're going to unpack that in another year, because I know that there would be other people like you, Maso, that just can't go there.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll park that. Listen out for that ep. It'll be coming up soon.
we'll be dropping it soon.
Yeah.
Another one for me, and this was really one of the first things that I really leveraged off when I was decided to cut out alcohol, was podcasts.
Yeah. Boom.
So I literally I'd had a big session on the Saturday night. No, I was on the Sunday. It was on the Sunday because it was a long weekend. So I had a big session on the Sunday. Monday, I was like, I just, self-loathing, hating life, just tired, ratty, all that. On the Tuesday morning, I woke up and I did a little bit of a workout, but I went to my podcast app and literally typed in the word sober, and all these podcasts popped up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this is a thing. I must be so naive, or just my mind must be a little bit shut, because I didn't know that there was this whole movement of sobriety happening with people like you and I, Maso, and like our listeners.
Yeah, 100%. It is a movement, and it's really kicking off. And once you just open that door, it's a whole world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the podcast for me that really, I'd say that changed, like I'm going to go with it changed my life, was the girls from Sober Awkward.
So good. I can't.
And I know I put you onto it, haven't I, Maso?
Yes, it was the first podcast. You'd sent it to me. It was the first one I listened to, and like any English accent just gets me straight away. Like I'm sold. But they are brilliant. I love them. So yes, I highly recommend as well.
They are a crack up. And the episode I'd listened to, I don't know which number it was, but in that particular episode, which was the first one I listened to, they mentioned about the book called Alcohol Explained by William Porter.
Yes.
When I read that, and then that's what really started this whole journey for me. I have to say was that podcast. And then there's another one I love, which is called How I Quit Alcohol. Yep. With Danny Carr. She's from Castlemaine. And there you go. Fun fact. Yeah, she grew up in Castlemaine.
Country chicks. I love it.
Country chick, yeah. So that's another goodie. And just, I think the whole just educating yourself by listening to those podcasts and also hearing relatable stories.
100%. I agree, because that Sober Awkward one, which is the first one I listened to, you sent to me with William Porter. Oh, I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only one that felt all those things, and the anxiety the next day and no sleep, and like that is a pot of gold, that episode, and that Alcohol Explained book. Like, cannot recommend it any highly. Can't even recommend it highly.
We'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. The other thing, have you finished there?
No,
Sorry,
I've got heaps more, but you go. I'll throw you. Yeah, throw
it around. The other thing that I do is weigh up the pros and cons. So if I think about having a drink, I'm like, okay, that's going to make me feel good for about probably an hour, the first hour when you first start to drink. And there's actually the science behind that. Again, William Porter, Alcohol Explained, will deep dive into what happens to the brain and drinking and going through the bloodstream. So the first sorry, you go.
I was going to say, how interesting is learning about that? Like,
yes,
mind blown.
Like it's incredible, isn't it? So yeah, just weighing up those pros and cons and going, okay, I'm going to feel probably good for about an hour, but I'm just going to have to keep drinking to make myself keep feeling good, keep feeling like high. And then I think about the lows, and I'm like, I won't sleep. I'm going to have a shit night's sleep. I'm going to wake up feeling dusty as tomorrow. I'll be sluggish as in the gym the next day. I'll be choosing to eat shit food. In fact, I'll be eating shit food when I'm drinking anyway. And I weigh it up and go, is this sort of hour of power really going to benefit me when tomorrow I'm going to spend all day still recovering and still feeling garbage? So, yeah, you just weigh it up and go, nah.
I've actually it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I've read or maybe heard the term of people saying play it forward, which is what you're doing there, Maso. Like you think of how's that one drink then going to affect the next, 12 hours, and you hit the nail on the head. Like you're going to feel like crap. You're going to feel tired. You're going to be sluggish. All that sort of stuff.
Yeah, yep. Feel anxiety. And then the next day, if you've got nothing on, then you just keep drinking again to make yourself feel good. Like it's just, you made a really good call the other day. We were talking about how, like, if you've got a big event, you've got a wedding or something, you should tell a story. Sorry, I'm just
remind me again. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so when say you've got a big function on, say a wedding that you're attending, and everyone's real up and about, like, the first 5 hours of the wedding are great. And then it's just...
Then you black out. Yeah. I remember having this conversation. Yeah, like you have, like, you get ready and you're all excited, and then you just froth on, knock back the bubbles, and you have got that window. I reckon it is like a 5-hour window. And then, like, you're probably similar to me, mate. So then we black out.
Yeah.
And next minute we're rolling around, we've lost our shoe, lost our earring, and abusing someone. And then you wake up.
Yeah, having a food fight with a wedding cake, like true story, another story about shame. Sorry, Carly. or you're doing, when they do their goodbyes and they're doing that big circle, and then you get the bride in a headlock.
I've cried. Yeah, I've had a big tear sesh with the bride while she was going around. She was like, "Get away from me!" I had a big tear sesh in the circle. and then you got to deal with it then the shame and the self-loathing the next day and feeling like crap. And then the other thing is you've ripped your $400 dress that you just bought.
Yes.
And the hair that you paid $80 to get done just in shambles.
Yes.
That's a biggie. That's a biggie. Play it forward.
Yeah, I love that. And all the photos are just a stupid face ones where you think you're real funny at the time. It's just no good.
And let's not even let's not even talk about the dance floor, like the moves. The moves on the dance floor. If they play Britney Spears at a wedding, I'm dead. Like, I just think I channel my inner Britney Spears and let loose. So that's a good one. The pros and cons, I love it.
Times,
do you write them down? Like, do you actually write them down?
Well, that was actually, I did have that here for journaling. I haven't had to recently, but I probably have I would have in the past because I was a hardcore journaler. I was, every morning doing my whole grateful thing. And then I'd probably say, what are my intentions for the day? Don't drink. Why? Put those dot points of why I don't want to drink. Journaling, big one. Writing it down. I love that, calling the restaurant first, though. I really love that, and I'll just jump on that as well. With this whole Torquay move and me wanting to celebrate with some alcohol-free drinks, I was like, yeah, cool. Like, Torquay will be cross AF for sure. Nah. I was disappointed. Like, I went to the bar because this is my first experience of walking to a bar, and I said, do you have any alcohol-free drinks? And she looked at me and went, yeah, like, we've got Coke, Sprite, like juice. She was just so taken aback, and I was looking at her going, what do you mean you don't have any alcohol-free drinks? And then I thought, oh, no, mate, like, of course you don't. Of course you have alcohol-free drinks, you have soft drinks, but I was like looking for a wine or something a bit fancy that was going to be a bit, celebration. Ended up with a couple of lemon lime bitters and was quite happy with that. But it was just I love that, being prepared. I'm so into that.
Yes,
and $50 for corkage, I'm down with that.
And do you know what? If you find a local Maso, like a local pub, which I'm sure you guys will, or a local cafe, ask them. Just say, hey, I was wondering if you can order this. Like, I wonder if you can order some etched sparkling in, for example.
Yes.
So they'll have it there when you go in. My bottle shop, in Strathfield, say they don't have a massive range. They are getting more and more in. But I asked them the other day if they had heaps normal beer. And they're like, we don't. They looked up on their system, like, oh, yeah, we can order it in from our warehouse. I'm like, bang.
Yes, boom, so good.
Yeah, so I think just asking the question, and you might get laughed at. But do you know what? Everyone I've asked have been awesome about it. Like,
so good.
Yeah, so I was at the Bright Brewery and I said to old mate, do you have any alcohol-free beer? And it's like, no, we don't. And he's like, but we're looking into it. He said, he goes, we're exploring it. He said, the piece of equipment that you need to extract the alcohol, he said it's quite expensive. Piece of equipment. And and fun little fact, I was reading an article the other day and it was about James Squire, because they've got a zero beer, which is actually in Woolies. It's in Woolies. Like, it was stacked up like in slabs in Woolies at like the end of an aisle. And in this article, it was saying that they invested $6 million in this machine from Germany, because Germany make the best machines or pieces of equipment. So $6 million for this piece of equipment that extracts the alcohol out. So yes way. So obviously there's different ranges of this piece of equipment. They've probably got the top end one, but it just goes to show that it's a thing that breweries are looking at.
Yes. Well, I think, we've just scratched the surface, haven't we? I know there's an alcohol bar in Melbourne, and it's hard to get people. I think you had a situation where people would be like,
is it the alcohol-free bar? Is that Brunswick Aces?
Yes. How good. I think it's changing people's look. Bars are behind the times if they're not going to jump on it. Like they've got to be able to, get it in. Don't you reckon? They've got 100%. To be able to get alcohol. They're missing an entire market and being able to provide for everybody.
And I think it opens up another market to them. Like you still got your drinkers naturally, but you're giving people more choice.
Yeah, 100%. Because you don't. I mean, although most publicans and people in that hospitality industry, and I've been that person, and as of you, we just drink. We couldn't think life without drinking. We're like, what do you mean you don't drink? But as the world is discovering, we can be alcohol-free. Yeah. I'm with it.
So the next one for me, the next tool for me was treat yourself.
Yeah.
So this for me now actually there's a couple of things with this one to unpack. So the first one is that I often hear that when you give up alcohol you'll save money. So with the money that you save, treat yourself with something. Now in my case that hasn't been the case because I still buy alcohol-free drinks, which are just they cost the same amount of money. So I haven't saved money as such, but the treat yourself for me is the next day. So say you're going to an event and you go home and you tuck yourself into bed. The next day, plan something special, like walk along the beach on a Sunday morning at 7:00 to see the sunrise, or go and meet your mates for breakfast on a Sunday because you're all feeling fresh. So just plan something to look forward to the next day after an event where you haven't drank.
Yes, I love that. Yes, or even a little shopping trip to Kmart.
Yes.
So the money that you would have spent on the booze the night before, you can just go treat yourself with whatever, with all your little knickknacks. It's so good. I love that one.
And I love like walking, like say you're out walking and knowing that everyone else is like hungover in bed and you're like up and about. Just eating the day.
Yes, really, really getting amongst it. I love that. That's so good. I think that's all the mocktails. Yeah, like you said, checking the restaurants' drinks list first and having a bit of a peruse of the mocktails.
Yes.
Yeah, putting them in place.
And so one tool for me, which we've sort of touched on already, is definitely alcohol-free drinks for me. I know that's probably not one for you as such, Maso, because it does have that triggering effect a little bit still.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a bit of a question mark, but I want to get into it. I'm alcohol-free drink curious.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
Like it. So, I'll do a little shameless plug here. So my IG handle is iflauntafdrinks, which really is a page to celebrate and showcase alcohol-free drinks. And since I put a little post on my personal Facey last week, and all these like Bendigo crew jumped on and liked the page, and I had probably, I reckon, 5 to 6 messages, or probably more. We'll call it 10. We'll call it to round it up to 10.
Round it up to 20. Who's counting?
About
that's
10,
spice.
10 local women like send me private messages saying, like, telling me their story about that they're cutting down booze, or that there's a couple said to me that their partners have a problem with alcohol, they're getting help for it, so to support them they're giving up booze as well. And that these alcohol-free options are a really good choice for them to still feel like they're having a drink, or an adult drink, inverted commas, to help them stay on track.
That's so good.
Yeah. So, and you know what? Like, it wasn't until June, July this year that I actually discovered alcohol-free drinks. Like, I didn't know they were a thing. And I'm like, have I been hiding under a rock? Like,
and now you're flaunting them.
I'm flaunting them. And the good folks at Sobar Beverages, so they make alcohol-free craft beer, they've just raised $1 million. I don't know what they're like not a startup, but they've raised $1 million to grow their business. So they've had like something like 560 investors
Wow, that's so amazing.
How good's that? And they've had like mainstream media coverage. And I saw yesterday, I think it was on one of the morning shows, there was another, it's called the Drink Swap. They're a online drink store alcohol-free drink store in Melbourne. And the morning show interviewed Ree, the owner of the Drink Swap. So they're pushing into alcohol-free drinks, are pushing into that mainstream media. Actually, Mamma Mia, there was an article the other day on Mamma Mia about, I think her name's Sarah in Perth. She has a alcohol-free drink store as well and does coaching. She was interviewed by Mamma Mia about why she stopped drinking as well and spoke about her alcohol-free drinks. So this whole movement.
It is. So get on board. And in fact, when we were talking about immersing yourself, like you were saying, podcasts and pages, Instagram pages and who to follow, sometimes that can be a bit like, who do I follow? If you go to @iflauntafdrinks and if you just look at anyone that's commenting underneath any of Breeza's posts, they're all your team. That's who you want to be following, isn't it? Jump into your followers and they're all there and who you follow in the alcohol-free
100%.
Space.
Yeah. And sometimes that's all you need. Like that's like if you're just having a bit of a shit day and want to crack a drink, you might just jump on IG and see a cracking quote to go, yeah, I don't need this alcohol drink.
Yes,
alcoholic drink.
Exactly. That's actually a really good point, a good little diversion as well if you start to get that urge. Yeah, jump on.
100%.
Jump on IG.
Jump on IG, which is actually one of my tools I've written down as well, is IG, Instagram. Yeah. So, yeah.
I just cut you off there, sorry.
No, go for it. Cut away. Chop, chop.
No, that's exactly it. That's all. I stole your thunder.
There's a couple of really good young birds in the UK. Is it Millie? I can't think of what her handle is. We'll pop in the show notes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's a couple of young birds that are really making some big shifts over in the UK and also in the States as well.
Yeah, right. So good. And I can't get past the Smug AF cocktail girls.
They're crackers, aren't they?
Oh, my God, their content. The one that they posted last night. It's so clever.
So, ladies and gents, that's your key takeout. Follow Smug AF Cocktails girls.
There it is. They won't let you down. They're so good. Actually, Breeza did an interview with them.
I did.
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
They do their weekly Smug AF chats, or Smug chats they're called, Smug chats, where they interview someone who's, ditched the booze. And I believe that Claire Mason will be getting interviewed in November.
Yep, pop that in your dinky diary.
Absolutely.
And it's just so funny that both of our interviews, our Smug chats, were actually at the 100-day sober mark.
Yes, 100%.
Isn't that crazy? Like, we didn't plan that. It's all just fallen that way, which is kind of a nice way to round that up. I like it.
I like it too.
Good.
What else you got there, Maso? What have you got? Any other tools that you want to share?
Yeah, just surrounding yourself with people who are on your side and want to champion you. That's probably, I think, what we were talking about before with people who sort of poo-poo alcohol-free. You probably just want to give them a bit of a wide berth and be around people who are wanting to be alcohol-free or curious or support you. I think that's really important as well.
I think, 100% the support, like being around people who support you and don't make little snide marks. Like I haven't experienced that yet, but in saying that, I haven't been out in many social situations because of the whole lockdown situation. So most of my booze-free days have been in lockdown without socialising. I have I obviously went away on the weekend and I've been out for dinner in the last 3 months or twice. But and that's why I don't sort of make it a thing. It's just I'm still drinking. I just don't have ethanol in my drink.
Yes, I love that.
So I might do a bit of a social experiment and just sort of observe people's reactions or remarks when they do discover that I don't drink.
Yes.
It might be a good one to unpack.
Yep, I like that. I was the other side of things. I used to tell people before something that I don't drink. I'd be like, just giving the heads up, I'm not drinking. So because I'm expected to have a bender, I'm expected to be that person. I didn't want to tackle it. Actually, here we go. That's another good point, actually, how to avoid drinking is communicating, telling people first so that you're not in that situation Because I've been in the situation where I'll get to someone, I'm like, oh, I really want to drink, and you're kind of really awkward, and then you end up just going, just have the drink anyway,
Yes.
or you kind of do your head in. You feel like people are looking at you, and it's just, and you put way too much noise on it, and it's just so unnecessary. But if you go into an event like Carly's 40th just happened recently, and I just said, just, give me the heads up, I'm not drinking. And she's like, totally fine, totally okay. And when I've done that in the past as well, I did it with my girlfriend Kim in New Zealand, who was here, and she goes, that's fine. She's like, I think we put too much pressure on it. People actually don't care generally. They like, you don't have to be getting blind with me all the time, although it's super fun, but, you do you.
I agree. Like, people don't actually give a shit at the end of the day, do they?
No.
And if they do, I think we discussed this in the first episode, it's sort of a reflection on them.
Yeah.
So I think I need to get better at that, Maso, about just owning it and just calling it out before I go to an event. Like, I've put it out there now in the social media world that I don't drink. But yeah, maybe I do need to be a bit better in that space.
Yeah.
That's my key takeout.
Yeah. Well, you can always say to people, if they say, oh, what are you doing? Aren't you drinking? Yes, just check my handle. It's AF. I thought alcohol-free drinks. Check it out. I'll talk to you later. Yeah.
Talk to you later, but you probably won't remember the conversation.
Yeah, so wording people up.
I like it.
Heads up so you don't have that. And then they're also prepared, like, because Carly, bless her heart, like, went out to buy a bottle of alcohol-free bubbles for me.
Oh, bless her.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people can really jump on board with that if you give them, education first. So, being prepared, PPP, piss poor preparation leads to piss poor performance. Is that it?
Yes, it is it. That's a ripper. That is a ripper, that one.
Books. You're a real bookworm.
Bookworm, yeah. I've actually got. I'm just putting my blinds down because the sun's about to come belting in on me.
The golden hour.
The golden hour. Don't get that confused with the golden shower. Bookworm, I'm a bookworm. I've actually got 4 books on the go at the moment.
Have you?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was thinking about this last night because if I've got a fiction book, I just like hammer the fiction and get right into it.
Yeah.
But if I've got more factual books, like, about quitting alcohol, about just like true crime, that sort of stuff, if I've got those books, I can just rotate them depending on what sort of mood I'm in. Yeah.
Really? I'm in awe of that. I'm so in awe. I want to be better at book reading. I love it when I'm right into it. But yes, I love that. But I don't know how you have 4 on the go. Like, I'm a one book wonder.
Well, it's only a thing. Normally, I just stick in my lane as have one book.
Yeah.
But with these like sort of more factual books, I can just rotate them. But definitely, if I'm reading a fiction, don't talk to me for 2 days because I'm just like fully into it. Especially if it's a page turner.
Yeah.
Which for me, Alcohol Explained was a page turner. That's obviously a factual book.
Yep.
So that was a massive page turner. And then the other one was This Naked Mind? This Naked Mind.
Yeah.
Another absolute. Are you reading that at the moment, Maso?
You've sent it to me. Yeah.
Yes. So that's another just like mind-blowing read. Yeah. And the one I've almost finished is Quit Like a Woman by Holly Whitaker.
Yeah.
So that's another cracker. But if you just jump on, even like the local bookstores that I've been to might have one book about sobriety, and normally like your mainstream ones, but Amazon I've found have stacks and stacks of choices.
Yeah.
But I'd love to obviously buy from a local bookstore, but they do have a limited range. But I suppose I can get them in. Maybe I should try that. Maybe I should ask them to get some in.
Yeah, and most of them do audio books as well, don't they? So you can have a little listen when you're cruising along as well, which is always helpful because not everyone's got time to sit down and read a book.
Absolutely.
or some people aren't, like bookworms as well.
100%.
So there's always that option, but the podcasts are always a good fallback. But thank you for sending me that book. Breeze is so good.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm actually Alcohol Explains up in Darwin at the moment, so Jen's got that one. So
I'll be summoning that back to create.
I think I might just buy another copy, so I've got it there. I actually just want a copy just so I can flick through every now and then as well.
Get it back.
So that really rounds up our tools, doesn't it? Our tools and our tool belt.
Tools and our tool belt.
And absolutely. I just think they're super, super important to help you stay on track, to help educate yourself as well, and even having conversations with friends like having conversations with people who get it and who have seen a positive shift in you as a person, as opposed to that, drunk mess. Can't even speak about it.
Stutter up.
And I know that I think you mentioned last potty, Maso, like that whole self-loathing thing and blackouts. I didn't realize you like blacked out. So we've been friends like for 20-ish years, I think it is.
Yeah.
And like we've had some, like we're not like in each other's pockets, but we cross paths, we have sessions and we move on. And that's one thing I didn't know about you is you blacked out. I just thought I was the only person that did that and didn't remember conversations.
Yeah, no, well, I think that's amazing that like I guess I probably thought blackouts were like, I probably didn't realise I was having blackouts. I just thought I couldn't remember things and I just had a bad memory. But they're blackouts. They're blackouts. But I probably didn't want to admit that, really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's pretty bad.
I had a theory until I read, obviously, Alcohol Explained, that when I went through this like phase where I'd go out and obviously get home in a taxi on my own. So I would, once I was in the taxi, my head would like, I'd black out. Right. So I'd remember getting to taxi rank, getting in the taxi, or I might even remember getting home, but then I wouldn't recollect anything after that. So I had this theory in my head that it would be like I'd once I knew I was safe in a taxi or safe home, my brain would switch off.
Wow.
But in actual fact, I was probably just blacking out. But I did have a theory that, subconsciously my brain knew that I got home safe, didn't do anything else now, switch off and don't remember anything else the rest of the night. So I don't know.
There's so much science behind it and so much we can learn, and we'll keep feeding little bits of things that we've learned along the way about how alcohol affects the body. And it's a mad old world, and it's definitely I just love myself best alcohol free.
100%. 100%.
So one thing that I really love doing with drinking at home is getting on the socials. And I would find myself deep down into something like click on this, click on that. All of a sudden I'm talking to, I don't know, Hurricane Harry in
LA.
Helsinki, his auntie's sister, and I'm just loving her, and I'm like just commenting on people's stories like I'm their best friend. We have such good chats, and I'm just so in awe and just admire what you're doing, and I don't know, just too much.
I've done the same, mate. I know, like one I can think of is you start scrolling on your stories, like you might be a few wines in, and start scrolling through your stories, and then you just start getting busy on the DMs. So I like hounded this like local cafe. They had put up a story on how to do poached eggs, and I was like into it. I was right into it because I swear I've never been able to nail a poached egg. So I was invested in this story, and so every little like bit they did, I was just like fully like hounding them. And like this is at 9:30 at night, so clearly it might have been a Friday or Thursday night. So massive alarm bells for the poor cafe who woke up with their inboxes smashed with messages from me. And I think they'd made a comment. So I know the cafe's owner. I think she had made a comment to allude to the fact that I'd had a few drinks because I was busy. Like there was nothing bad. I was just real up and about, just like cheering them on and just like, oh, this is awesome. Like right into it. Had I not been drinking, I probably just would have like signed off or just said, oh, thanks for the tip. I might try this. But I was fully like harassing them.
Yes. Eggs are hard to cook. I feel like I would have been deep down in that as well. Go, oh my God, this is the best thing ever.
What's your hot tip for a poached egg, Maso? What have you got?
Well, actually, do them in the microwave.
Oh yeah, full cheat.
But the actual trick is a little bit of hot water in the bottom. You can put them in like a cup, like a mug or a cup or something. A little bit of hot water in the bottom, egg in, and then I cook it. I think it might be on medium low or medium low defrost for like so super low. And
mix it right up.
Yeah, so put it on like maybe depends the power of the mic though.
Oh, that can really mess with you, can't it? So how much kilowatt?
How many watt you got? So depending on how many watt you got is how long you're going to give it a little bit of a hit for. I think maybe 2 minutes might be good on a low power one, and then I might give it just a little spurt on high for 10 seconds. Hey, question though, how do you like your eggs?
Well, I just like if I'm at a cafe, poach me up, baby.
Yeah, are we talking runny or the
runny.
Runny, real runny.
Yeah.
See, I like them a bit gooey to hard, like not real run.
Right.
Run dog.
No, don't like a bit of run dog. I don't like the white. The white bit can't be clear. Like that has to be white.
No. Oh,
but
no.
the yolk, I don't mind a bit of like splatter when it into it. Go team Splatsy.
Splat attack.
So, but getting back to the story, like getting back to like being harassing people in their stories.
Yes.
Like the next day, have you ever woken up the next day and you look back at what you've written to these like brands or these like influencers or like it's always nice. I'll just call it. It's always nice. I don't like troll anyone. I'm always like real complimentary.
Yeah,
but like their best, like their bestie.
They've really made a difference in my life, and I really need to tell them about it.
Yeah. I never hear back from them. Never.
and then you just want to go back and press unsend, so it never happened in your life as well. Like you just like unsend.
Control Alt Delete. Wish you could have that on your life. That'd be fun. Like just Control Alt Delete some moments.
It's time for the recommendation of the week.
Righto, so let's wrap this episode 2 up with Tool of the Week. What have you got, Maso?
Well, this week I actually listened to, do you remember the Threadbow disaster with Stuart Diver? But he does a podcast himself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's called Elements, and it's about natural disasters. So, big tick, Stuart Diver. That's my tool of the week.
Thanks, Maso. Thanks for another ep. Loved it.
Breeza.
We're back next week. And what are we going to waffle on about next week? I think we are going to be talking about going against the grain.
Ooh, yeah.
So we're going to be talking about the benefits that we have discovered since ditching the booze. So there'll be another one to buckle up for.
I know. I'm actually nearly bursting at the seams, just wanting to tell you all the things of how good alcohol-free life is, and just I want to be able to bottle it up and go, here you go, open this jar of goodness and get this in your life and get it all over you, because it's the bloody, it's yeah.
It's our superpower.
It is. Yes.
All right. Have a good one, Maso, and we'll chat next week.
Thanks, Breeza. You too, mate. Bye.
Bye, Felicia.